All right. Thank you for tuning into Powerful Impact Podcast, where we interview people who have made a powerful impact on the community or the culture at large. I'm So Rack, and tonight I'll be joined by SP and Too Legit. And tonight I just want to give my co-host to go ahead an opportunity just to say something real quick, and then we're going to bring our special guest for the night in, and then we're going to have a wonderful discussion with you guys as we talk about the culture, talk about music, and we talk about everything. So we're going to get deep tonight. SP, do you want to say something real quick before we get started this evening?
Just chilling. Got in from one of the best wound care experiences I ever had. So I'm floating pretty high.
All right. That's what it is. Too Legit.
Hey.
All right.
Too Legit in Cali. There's actually an Oktoberfest happening like 2 blocks away.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear it.
All right. No problem.
Out in the streets.
All right, good. That's what it is.
But I'm happy to be here,
All right, well, we're glad to have you here. And tonight we got a special guest, platinum recording artist and former Def Jam reggae artist, Callie Ranks. We welcome you to the building tonight. We thank you for joining us, and we're glad to hear your story tonight as we talk about the music, we talk about your journey, and we just talk about how you made a powerful impact on the community. So I'll go ahead and start it off with the first question for tonight. Where are you originally from, and how did this shape you as a person?
All right. First of all, like he said, Cali Ranks, thank you guys for having me. You know what I mean? I much appreciate that, Bridget. And the question again, you say where I'm from originally?
Yeah. How did it shape you as a person?
All right. Originally born in Kingston, Jamaica, Jubilee Hospital, you know what I mean?
All right.
And raised partially in Jamaica and Brooklyn, and basically all over the world. But I would shape me as a person. I mean, it shaped me. It's me, period. You know what I'm saying? Because your birth, where you're from, your surroundings, your initial come into this world does have a lot to do with how your life turns out, how choices you make, or how you feel about a lot of things. So it has shaped my life profoundly. You know what I mean? It has created who I am today, where I'm from as a Jamaican.
Word.
I'm just I was wondering, I know you found a way to fuse reggae and hip hop so seamlessly. What gave you that inspiration? It's so well done, and I always love when you come out with something. So how did you come up with that way to fuse those two things together so seamlessly?
That's a damn good question, because I pride myself on that, to be honest with you. I attribute that to being partially raised here, being partially born in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? I was in Jamaica until I was about 14 years old, and then I came to live here. The first time I came to the US, I was about 11. So that period of time is when hip hop starting to really become what it is, as a culture. I mean, the first hip hop joint I heard was Rapper's Delight, right? The hip hop, a hippie to the hip. So being born in Jamaica and coming to America and then going to high school in Jamaica, you had somewhat of a mesh of culture. So when I finally decided, like, MCing is what I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure I come and represented what I really knew. Since I wasn't like raised all the way in Jamaica until adult, or till I, like say 17, 18, I couldn't very well jump up and pretend that that's what I'm giving you. So rapping was embedded in me, the hip hop culture was embedded in me, and I had a reggae from birth. So I started just basically walking that line where I didn't want to give up one and I didn't want to give up the other. And it eventually developed into that style. Honestly.
Beautifully done.
That's God.
Every single time.
Thank you, Mama.
So, how did you get your name, and does it have any special meaning to you or significance?
Yes, it does. In a lot of ways. The first initial Kali came from Calibus, which was a character way back in the days from Clash of the Titans. Calibus used to basically eat anything. You know what I mean? I mean, he challenged anybody. He was, vicious. And when I was really young, I played soccer, and my stature was a little bit small compared to most players, but I never showed fear. So when I was about, I think 10 or 11 or 9 or 10, one of my teammates, after doing like, to them, I guess it was, well, it was a spectacular play. And they said, yo, you eat anything, rude boy. You're like Calibus. And the Calibus stuck. So they started calling me Calibus until, a certain time. And when I started grabbing the mic and everything with the emphasis on, the militancy of being an MC in Jamaica, from the Cutty ranks, Shabba ranks, you know what I'm saying? There's so many ranks, and it was all about being militant. So I just cut the bus short and made it ranks. And of course, I went into the military. So, it kind of fit, because now Cali has ranks. So Cali ranks.
Dope.
Yes, the weed comes into that, but we don't want
Hey, it comes into a lot of things, but hey,
so what I mean, there's a
that's
lot
what
of
it is.
meaning and entwined in it, but yeah,
No
it was
doubt.
Calibus and then Cali weed ranks.
That's
Yes.
word. That's word.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what was your first big break in the music business?
I would honestly say my first big chance I had was way back in like 1990, 89, 90. I was really young.
Okay.
And I was doing reggae in the dance hall, just toasting the mic and doing my thing. And there was a small production company from New York with two dreads who owned it, called Saston Productions.
Mhm.
And they made a single. They produced a single for me called Name Brand, which nobody probably ever remember or know anything about. But locally, my people loved it. And that was my first, step. After that, a friend of mine happened to be Little Cochise. He had a hit song back in the days down here when I came to Florida. And he was, a part of 95 South came out of his group, what I mean, just to make a reference. And he took me to some Italian cats who eventually invested in me and got me that deal with Def Jam. Then Drew Dixon signed me to Def Jam. So I debuted on the show soundtrack, by Russell Simmons. And that was my initial so-called big break. You know what I mean? Well, not so-called, it was the big break that, put me in a position to where I could eat a little bit still today from music.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I know you, and I know you didn't mention that, but you got a platinum plaque as a result of that
Yes,
track.
that
Yeah.
went platinum a few times, what I
Yeah.
mean? And not only because of me. Yeah, we did do well with the single, but on that record, they had so many juggernauts, from Mary J. Blige, Tupac, Biggie Smalls. It was LL. It was the best of the,
It was
not
sick.
all the best, but not like everybody that's the best. But they had some great artists that's among the best on that album. So that even today continues to, make a roar, because it was also one of the first soundtracks to deal with music, especially hip hop. You know what I mean? So yeah, it made a mark. It really made a mark, and it helped me. God
Absolutely.
bless me on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the show, how did
My song
your
end up on that.
life how did your life change
Oh man.
after
First of
you?
all, I mean, completely 360. Well, that at that time and that era, in say 94, 95, it was nothing like what we had today with the internet. You know what I mean? Things were more grassroots, where you had to either get on a bus and do the Chitlin circuit, or you work your way up from just, the clubs locally. There was no internet, no, none of that. So you had to really work. So I ended up on Def Jam through the How Can I Be Down conference, where we went down there and impressed some clinic, and they in turn connected Def Jam, and so on and so forth. My life changed like completely 360, from you just, doing what you do, to a $3.5 million deal. That's, in 94, that's it changed my life. Yeah, it changed my life. It made me realize that dreams do come true. You know what I mean? For one, you know, because coming from an island where I'm used to, I mean, I've been through the phases from most Americans would even know what a pit toilet is, you know what I mean? Where, you know,
Mm-hmm.
our outhouse, you know what I mean? I've seen an outhouse. I've used an outhouse to from say so from an outhouse to say driving a $75,000 car, you know what I mean? It changed your life. It's a
I feel
difference.
you.
I've seen a
I
lot.
feel you
Yeah.
on the
I'm
outhouse.
thankful for
I feel you on the outhouse.
that. Yes, mama.
All right.
Hey, me too. Me
You could
too, people.
appreciate stuff when you come from that. You know what I mean? When you've
Oh
seen that,
yeah.
then you could appreciate, you know what I mean, everything else. And you're not too frightened, even though, you know, you still make mistakes. You're not too frightened because you've seen what hardship can be. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Even
random little thing, like you know that turn up Jack's Hill to get to the Shanty Man? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not
In
necessarily, but it sounds
Kingston?
like some country thing in a
In
Jamaica where you
It's
go
in
up somewhere to
Kingston.
look for an Obeah man or something. It's
Okay. I got to go there for Buju, and that was I explain this to people all the time because I grew up on an island with outhouses too, and
okay.
I completely agree with you. Like, you know, when I was at the Shanty Man's, it's a local spot, right?
Okay, so you went to a
Delicious.
shanty town, yeah.
No, there's a Shanty Man that's on Jack's Hill, and it sounds like you have a, you know, like it's the locals, whatever, took me there,
Okay.
but there's, you know, there's an outhouse, and I knew how to use it because I spent my time on an island too, up high in the villages, and you
Right.
know, so it, you
Yeah.
know, give thanks for everything we got for sure.
That's real. Some people
Yep,
never experience that thing, so you know what I'm saying? They don't really know, you know what I mean, how good they have it because they've never seen what bad really is, you know what I mean? Or
exactly.
yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, I give thanks. Changed my life.
so oh since you came out, how do you think that reggae and dance hall music has changed since the 90s?
Well, of course, you know, when you ask that question, it's almost a gimme to pick on the younger generation because stuff has changed and the substance and everything has changed. But I don't try to knock them. I've learned not to try to knock them because every
Mm-hmm.
generation is going to come with their own. But if we want a party to jump today, we're gonna always go back to the 90s slang tang music and all of that because it's still what works. You know what I mean? It never
Mm-hmm.
fails. Now the question is, 20 years from now, will they be playing their music in the dance hall to make it jump? Or will they still be playing the 90s music to make it jump? I think the 90s music is gonna last forever because it was an era and a time where feelings was in it more than synthesizers. Like today's music is more computer. Everything is computer now. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that heart and soul that we put in it from and the feelings. You know what I mean? Even though it's still good music, there's still good artists. You know what I mean? But the substance is not in it. It's not. It's not the same. The vibe is not there. It's not the same vibe. The energy is not there. It's not the same energy. So it's a different era. Not
It's a
knocking it, but it's very different. It
it's a
don't have the
totally
energy and
different
vibe before.
frequency.
Yeah. I still listen to, I mean, there's a few, I listen to Popcorn now and again, or Jack Cure or one of them, but Buju and them man, they still move me. Sizzla and them man, they still move me. I don't know, maybe because I'm old school, but the contents and the vibe from that still move me more than a lot of what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I prefer that. I prefer the 90s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's because it's the era that we grew up in, but
Yeah.
I'm one of those too. I don't like to crap on the youngsters
Yeah, you
because
can't because now and again, even though you might not like everything they do, you'll find a jewel in the mix somewhere. You know what I mean? Where somebody has that essence and the
hmm
messages that we love. You know what I mean? So you can't really knock him, just like you say. You know what I mean? But it's a difference. It's not as much heart and soul, even in the fun part. You know what I mean? Because we went. It's just like how we thought. Like not us the so-called woke, but the the average people thought that like racism didn't exist no more until something really blew up. You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh shit, people are still racist. It's the same thing somewhat with the music. You know what I mean? The messages and everything that we used to, like the PEs and all of them that used to get us to get up and march and do it without something really happening, just fighting for the everyday. You know what I mean? From just having fun to standing for something. That same vibe is not as prevalent. That's all I'm saying. We need more of that. Yeah, we need more of that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. This is Neville here. I missed the intro, but here I am.
I am there. Me not see him.
He's disappeared. I want to ask. This is my opinion. Now I could be wrong. Why do you think, or do you think, there are less collaborations with hip hop artists these days with reggae artists? Do you think it's more or less than in the 90s?
I think it's the same reason I just stated. It's the vibe, because you still find artists like, say, Chris Brown and them that make collaborations with reggae artists, but only because he's used to that vibe coming from, like, he crossed over an era. You know what I mean? Chris is one of them, like, he was some part of the old school and he's still a part of the new school. So he still reaches back. Our DJ Khaled, for example, he still reaches back for when he wants to make some dancehall music. It's just now Jamaica is getting mad at him, like, you need to work with some of the new artists and stuff. But he tends to reach back for, like, the Bourgeois, the Bounty, or the Soul to make, reggae music for now, because that's the vibe that most of the world appreciates. And if you go to, like, Amsterdam, or you'll find some popcorn, like I said, you'll find some Shensia, you know what I mean? But that's not the essence of what people consider as reggae, because they still praise, say, Bob Marley. You know what I mean? Yes. Bob Marley is still the epitome of what the best reggae artist is. Everything else is a chip off of Bob Marley to the known world. You know what I mean? So if you ain't really, say, standing for something, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean nothing, but I'm saying white people ain't gonna really, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna buy that, because they want to hear a message too. They know what, you know what I'm saying, the essence of the music comes from. So the people that gravitate towards it is the, you know what I'm saying? So I think in the dancehall section where you used to have fun, like Slang Tang and all that, and I miss Slang Tang, man, I miss Slang Tang, you know what I mean? That vibe, our Shabba vibe that he brought, you don't really see that as much. So you don't have as much artists trying to cling to it. Look, even new school artists, they went back and got Shabba. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Ferg, ASAP Ferg.
You know what I mean?
ASAP Ferg and them.
Yeah, the new school is just not touching them like, you know what I mean? The old school touching, because even though it's not, say, bars, I ain't even gonna knock nobody for the bars or what they say. I think it's the vibe and the soul.
It's what you
the
said
vibe
before.
And the soul. It's not authentic, bro. Everybody following everybody, bro. Everybody sound like everybody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't original. It's not enough choices. You feel me?
So I guess that's probably why I'm saying that it's less, but it's probably not less. It's like what you said. The vibe and the soul of it is not the same. Like when the Super Cat remix Ghetto Red Hot by Salam Remy, that thing blew. You have Shabba Ranks and KRS-One with the Jam.
See? Yeah.
I don't hear, even though I hear collaborations, I don't get that vibe of a collaboration where it really crosses over and really penetrates.
The last wicked one you got was probably, if not saying Nas and Damien.
Damien, that album was powerful.
But the last big commercial one you got was probably the you talking about is Ghetto, Baby Sham and what's her name? Alicia Keys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's Dave Kelly.
It's missing, man. That's what it's missing. That's the vibe. You feel me? Not necessarily that same style, but that's the vibe, that energy, that you know what I mean? They had a subject. They, you know, everybody wanted to move with that. You know what I mean?
Do you think it can come back around? Because you know how they say everything goes in cycles. Do you think that feeling can come back around again? Of those
It's coming right now. I think it's coming right now. And if you watch, like, say, for example, the verses with Jada and the vibes that he woke up, it shows you that our generation, or that they call the old school, we ain't ready to sit down yet, damn it. We want to hear some more shit, and we want to make some more shit. That's just
And
the
I'm
truth.
so glad to
Yeah.
see y'all
And we
coming
started it.
outside.
Yeah, we started it. So until we decide we don't want to hear it no more and it's done, it's on. You know what I mean? So yes, it can come back around, just like miniskirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, I haven't been outside enough to see any. All right, cool. I'll be on the lookout.
Yeah,
You're in
man.
Florida, though.
Everything,
You know how that go.
Yeah, you
yeah,
locked
yeah,
down.
no.
You locked down where you are.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying though, not necessarily that miniskirt is the style. No, I'm just saying everything comes back in style. You'll see a barefoot again. You'll see tight, like this tight pants that they wear. That's not new. You know what I mean? I mean, that was a style that was out before. Like discos, I mean, the 70s, my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tight pants just came back around. You know what I mean? Next year they probably make them shiny. Yeah. You know how this shit is, bro.
Shout out to Beanie Man.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
see that? Beanie love the shiny tight pants. Him not care.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been waiting forever to actually ask you since it came out about living legends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I loved it from the first moment I saw it. I think I posted it so many times I started getting on people's nerves.
Thank you,
It
Mama. I
was
appreciate
just
that.
so good.
Thank you.
And
We're gonna redistribute the deluxe version, as a matter of fact. We're putting some new songs on it and we're gonna put it out properly through a major. They said they
oh,
want
that would be
they're gonna help us do it.
amazing.
Yeah, they're gonna help us do it. We between us though, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
haven't even called the name yet, but it's coming again. We're gonna do it properly and bigger.
Dope.
And just to hear cannabis in his bag. Oh
Yes.
man. Oh man.
He's
I
gonna do
was
some
like,
remixes with me too. Yeah, he's gonna do some other songs and help me do some stuff.
oh,
Cannabis, my
that's
brother. He's a good
awesome.
dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
Really good dude. Yeah.
So how did you convince Miss Lauren to come? Oh, her voice was so beautiful and y'all meshed so well together. How did you get her to come out and
Actually,
do this?
I couldn't even take the credit by myself. My former A&R on Def Jam, Miss Drew Dixon,
Mm-hmm.
she is the one who brought us together to do that. So I've known Miss Lauren since about in the 90s, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
we remixed this joint and we had to get her permission and stuff to put it out. So we had to get Drew to give her a call and you know what I'm saying? And she said it was okay. So it was Drew. We give that credit to Drew Dixon. And you know, you can look her up because she had her story, you know, on Def Jam and stuff, and she got something on HBO right now,
Mm-hmm.
and she include us in it, me and Fredro and stuff. But her story is something I won't go into, but it deserve a ear. You know what I mean? You should look her up, Miss Drew Dixon, former Def Jam A&R.
Definitely gonna look her up and see.
Yeah, but she's responsible for that one. She's
Well,
also the producer. Yes.
tell her thank you
Yes, I
because
tell
we
her every time,
appreciated
every
it. It
chance.
was
Yes, I tell her
so
every chance
good.
I do. Yes, I do. I tell her every chance she's a great producer. She produced Aretha. She discovered John Legend before they even knew who he was. I mean, she's brilliant. She's a brilliant lady. I'm biting my damn tongue. Yeah, but yes.
That
I
is
appreciate
awesome.
that. Yeah.
So some of your other collabs.
Right.
Talk about some of your other hip hop collabs.
Well, Black Rob has always been my family. God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Me and Rob goes back before he even signed to Bad Boys. You know what I mean? Rob was my friend. Chris Brown, it was more business, but like everybody else, we had to get his permission. We're not buddies like that, but I got a great deal of respect for that cat. You know what I mean? And he gave us his blessings in many ways, you know what I mean, to get that done. Cannabis, of course, is my brother. You know what I'm saying? Rampage is another one of my brothers. Onyx goes back all the way to Def Jam. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, Fredro is in my Kill 'Em All video. Him, Praz, and a part of them boys. You just did that group. You just did a essay on Diggable Planets. You know what I mean? They showed me love. They're in the Kill 'Em All video.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them boys. So we go back those are a lot of my family. You know what I mean? We got Miss Steph Adler on it. She's coming up on our Fimi. She's been running over
Mm-hmm.
with us for a couple of years. And another cat from BMF, Big Meat, one of Big Meat's youngsters and shit. That's underneath BMF, you know what I'm saying, Montana Trip. So yeah, we put it together. We put it together. Yeah, it was it was a great album. There's a lot of great artists on that album. Like I said, I presented the living legends, you know what I mean? I didn't even claim to be one of them. I just presented them because we find ourselves too much trying to celebrate them after we gone. Like I said, Rob, you know, God rest his soul. I was kind of, you know, happy with myself that I did try to celebrate him before something happened to one of them on that album. You know, it's a sad thing to see him go, but I'm a damn sure, like I said, re-put that joint out and highlight that joint with him. You know what I mean? So I could be a
Oh
part of
yeah.
him living forever because he's a great dude. He was a great dude, and I don't even think he got a fair shake. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, but Rob was a great dude, highly missed.
Yeah, he is. You know, and he's a legend, and I would consider you a legend as well. I know you don't. I know you say you
I
presented the
appreciate that,
legends,
bro.
but you know, I mean, you made a mark. I mean, you know, saying you was on the soul soundtrack, and you was part of that '90s culture that made that move and really made some differences. Made a significant change in the culture at that time. So
Right.
I consider you a legend as well. So you know, I know you're humble, and you know, we know each other, so we can go there with that. But you know, I know you're
Much
humble,
love,
but
my
at the end
brother.
of the day,
Much love.
you know,
Yeah.
you're a legend. You know, it's much love on this end. But Tula, I know you got some questions you wanted to ask, so I definitely want to give you an opportunity. But let's say rest in power to Black Rob because he was you know, want to give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying, for what he did for the
Definitely.
culture, for real.
Can I just piggyback on that before Tula?
All right.
Man, I slept on Black Rob, man, for real. I only knew his singles. And around the time when DMX passed away and stuff, I did actually a special in Clubhouse, plug in Clubhouse right now, and a mix that I put together of all of his albums. I had to make the best 20 tracks, so I did actually sit down and listen to his discography. I did not realize, one, he had so many albums. I didn't realize he did so many independent albums. And then I really listened to him lyrically. I'm like, this man's a lyricist, man, and really
Yeah, he wrote a lot
made
of
some
songs for Bad
amazing
Boy, yo.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like you said, I don't think they gave him the right push. He did have the woe, but I don't think they gave him the right push, and I don't think Puffy really followed through with his career the way that he could have.
All
And
right, let me
in
interject there
passing that,
just for a sec,
yeah,
because Puff
yeah,
do
man.
get a bad name, and I don't want to be
Sorry.
one that bashes
Yeah,
Puff.
that's
Not to cut you off, but Puff did put some effort into Rob. What happened is, and I'm not bashing my man, but you know, it's sometimes people hear stuff in the industry and they just, you know what I mean, not saying y'all do, but a lot of people hear stuff and you know, it's not clarified sometimes. But remember, Rob did get locked up. Feel
Yes,
me?
yes. And
And
he had
when you get
other
locked up,
challenges. Yes.
yeah, when you get locked up, no matter how much a person might love your music or want to push it, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Puffy could probably have done more to get him released
But he was
and, you know,
busy.
visit him anymore. But Puffy was really upset with Rob about getting locked up. You
Yes.
feel me? Because I've seen him show Rob a lot of love. You feel me? So not like I'm a Puffy dick rider or a Puffy lover. You know what I mean? Let me clarify that also. But not
The first
everything
time being
is
said
fault.
on this
You feel me?
podcast.
Yeah, not everything is his fault. Sometimes us artists fuck up too, bro.
That's true.
Real
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And he had his challenges and he had his demons and things that
Yes.
he was dealing with as
Great dude,
well.
man. Rob is a great dude. He helped too much damn people sometimes too. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
he
I
would
don't.
give the shirt off your back from what I heard. But I guess what I just want to
Yeah,
say
he
is
will.
though his music and what he did really touched me after he passed, and it's sad that people like get mad at you like, oh, you weren't on him before, you're a late comer, you riding the wave. But when I actually listened to him, I was like, man, I missed out when he was here for real. I
No, you
missed
didn't
out.
miss out, bro. If you can enjoy it now, that's what he would love. He wouldn't mind when you listen and how you got onto it. He wouldn't mind. I could tell you that. He wouldn't mind when you listen and when you got a hold of his music, as long as you know what I'm saying, you feel the way you feel, bro. So I'm saying, so respect, brethren. Thank you
Dope.
for that,
And that's a powerful impact. Boom.
bro. Real
Oh,
talk.
fire.
Yeah,
You know, I had just gotten on Clubhouse, when he passed, and then it was right in a row, like boom, boom, boom. You know, it was DMX and Black Rob and Biz Markie. You know, and
Yeah.
that actually, Neville, I don't know if you know that, but that's like, I mean, I
Stop,
had knew some people ahead, but like of Clubhouse before, you know, I mean, Tupac's producer invited me to the app. That's also why I have the name Too Legit on there, because he also produced MC. But I was in rooms, and I made some like pretty long lasting friendships with, you know, sometimes I'd be the only female in these hip hop rooms, and I was just like comforting these people, like shedding real tears, you know, for these losses for the hip hop industry. It was large, and just
Yeah,
boom, 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 all at
it was
once, you know.
ugly. Yeah, it was bad. That was
Yeah.
bad.
So on that note, I'm up for a question. So, like, who would be your dream collaboration?
My dream collaboration right now, to be honest, I don't have a dream one, but if I should dream, mm, I don't know, Kalanji. He'd probably be Sizzler, honestly.
Mhm.
Either Sizzler or Capleton. You know what I mean? Those are two of the most like conscious, and at my age right now, you know what I'm saying, consciousness is really important to me to
Mhm.
leave, you know what I'm saying, to make some damn sense. To even if you don't sell a million records, make some sense, add on, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now. So somebody like Sizzler or Boju or you know what I mean, one of them greats, one of them legends that you know, one of them icons, you know what I mean? That
Mhm.
has something to teach the world. You know what I mean? One of them dudes. Hip hop to me, I mean, I've worked with KRS-One. I still have a track from KRS-One I haven't used. Not
Oh, dope.
lyrically, he hasn't dropped anything, but he's produced tracks for me, you know what I'm saying? And I put him away. I didn't even really like him. I didn't want nothing against Chris, but they didn't fit my style, you know what I mean? So I know as it goes along, I gotta get back to my roots more and more, you know what I mean? So reggae is it. So Kalanji, could you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm,
Okay. My screen
for
froze.
sure.
No, we
And
can hear you.
um, so yeah, that's, I mean, you know, that was one of my intros to hip hop was KRS-One, BDP, stuff like that.
Right.
And
So,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so since the name of the show is Powerful Impact, um, who are the two or three most powerful and impactful people in your life, professional and personally, and why?
Professionally, uh damn, that's a hard question. Professionally, I probably pick my mom. I ain't gonna front.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. She's a hell of an accountant. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
And she's a hell of a I mean, she's a rock.
Mhm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? She can't hear me, so I'm not even, you know. She's around here somewhere. I know she's here
Yes.
somewhere. Yeah,
Well.
she's a rock. You know, she's a rock to the whole family, dude. That would be my you know what I mean? She's a mentor. She's, you know, for the last 300-400 years, we know without the black woman, we don't know what the black race would have become. And
Mhm.
I come from a long line of strong black women. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
was raised initially in Jamaica with my great grandmother. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I knew my grandmother, but it was my great grandmother, like my mother's grandmother, for
Mhm.
real. So I know of these struggles, you know what I'm saying? I've listened to the stories of my great grandmother, how she worked for so and so, and you know what I'm saying, did her first thing and bought her first, you know what I'm saying, house and butcher shop. And you know what I'm saying? I came from a family of hard, struggling workers, women, strong women. So that'd be the professional. And what was the other one? The you said professional
Personal.
And personal.
and personal. Damn, I think I covered it. But
Yeah.
personal, yeah. Damn, that woman just she's the rock, dude. That's it. My mama. My mama. You know, I give thanks to the most high. You know what I mean? That's the key to all things, you know what I mean? The creator is the key to all things. So I give, you know, all praises due to him, you know what I mean? But other than from that, man, my mama, man, I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
That's
Callie,
real.
I'm gonna ask a question, kind of piggybacking on that. When it
Yeah.
comes to music, before
Yeah.
you popped off, who were your musical influences? Who
My
pushed
music,
Callie to want to do this?
one of them was actually Shaba, of course. You know what I mean? When I met Shaba with Shelly Thunder like back in a something. A friend he did a tour somewhere, I think in Florida, and a friend of mine knew him. We happened to end up on the bus, and he was sitting at the steering wheel, and I was like, "Yeah, Shaba, I want to take your spot." This is before Def Jam, before any one of those things. And he looked at me and he laughed. He said, "Yeah, man, that's cool. I want a girl to take my spot." It was just funny, but Shaba was a huge influence because as a Jamaican, to see another Jamaican cross into, what I'm saying, the limelight, to where he made the world listen to the raw dancehall. You know what I mean? Like, he really put a light on the raw side of things, not just the Bob Marley side. You know what I mean? So Shaba was a huge influence on me. And I mean, as far as rappers, Kara is one, of course. You know what I mean? So those two dudes, when I first initially started, trying to become an MC, or embracing the art, were probably the biggest influence. Shaba Ranks and KRS One, honestly, that's them. Chris is still sick as shit.
Yeah, he killing it, man.
Yeah.
He's killing it. I mean, he
That's why when I got signed, that's one of the first person I ran to. Like, he had Mad Lion at the time, and I wanted to, I wanted Chris behind me, because I felt Chris understood the whole Jamaican crossover vibe. You know what I mean? Even though I thought I was better than Mad Lion. I mean, not disrespecting the man. As a young kid, you think you're better than everybody, but
yeah, absolutely.
Mad Lion had his shit was good. I love what he was doing, and I love the part Chris played in it. In developing his role. So I ran to Chris, but what I wanted to do just did not fit. It didn't go together. It didn't go together. So I even had him try to remix the Kill 'Em All and redo it. And it wasn't working, bro. Wasn't working.
Well, I want to ask you about your two new songs that you got out now, Go She Gone and Model for Me. Could you just kind of tell us about those two new singles? And I want to encourage everyone to go ahead and cop those wherever music is sold. But yeah, definitely tell us about those two new singles that you have right now. They bangers, but I just want you to kind of just share with the audience about those two. What encouraged you to write those songs, and how it came together.
I appreciate that. The Model for Me was which is produced by Armada, is an idea. It's a really fun song. It's something that it's more like exercising for the ladies that love to exercise and have fun.
All right.
I mean, there's no real deep meaning to it. It's just like, there's no cursing, there's no obscenities or anything in it, but it's a sexy song. And Armada was doing his last reggae project he was working on. He wanted to make a combination of a joint that bring all the islands together, like Puerto Rico and Jamaica. You know what I mean? So we found this young kid in Jamaica and this veteran MC from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And we put that joint together, Model for Me. Yeah, that's what that's about. It's about, just like it says. You know what I mean? Model for me.
All right, that's what it is.
Show me a thing, you see me? Yeah,
Yeah.
man, show me a dance move, show me a vibe, show me, like I said, there's no obscenities in it. I'm too old for the foolishness, so you know what I mean. But it's the real fun song. Now, Go She Gone is, to me, I didn't even make Go She Gone to be a record, honestly. I made Go She Gone as a tribute to Shelly Ann Price, Fast Elaine, who is Miss Hera, and Sharika Jackson, who won the 100-meter Olympics, coming in number first, second, and third, the 1, 2, 3. And the song became mad popular with Jamaicans, and they just kept screaming, "Yo, you gotta put this out for us to get it. You gotta put this out for us to get it." I put it on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying, I try to, do a little promotion to them, and it just jumped to like 79,000. So I was like, oh shit, okay, here, have it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so-
but the song is about this. It's a really description of the race itself, just a 100-meter race. You know what I mean? Just describing from the starting line, and Elaine from the gunshots say go, she's gone. Go, she go, gone. And it's on the new Afro beat, you know, because Afro dancehall is a style that's not right. So
it is.
It's Afro beat, so it's really moving. It's people feeling that. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, and I want to encourage everybody to go ahead and make sure you cop those 2 tracks.
Yeah, you got to cop. You got to check that. Go Siobhan. Yeah, if you have any type of vibe of dancing or anything, you definitely love it. Yes, yes. My mother's looking for me.
Hello, Mom.
Now I never did it. All right, now she's gonna disappear. Now she interview. She's gone. She's gone.
Well, we're not gonna turn moms away. You know how they go.
She's gone. Yeah. But yeah, man. That's what's up, my brother.
All right.
So,
okay.
What advice would you give or maybe a blueprint would you give an up and coming artist who's trying to break into reggae or dancehall?
The first thing I tell them to do is if somebody gave you a blueprint, throw it away. There's no blueprint. Because of the fact, to be honest, back in the days, there was a formula, there was a blueprint, there was a, you know what I'm saying? And of course, there's steps that you do take today, you know what I mean, that you have to follow. But as far as there's a blueprint and a said way to do things, that's no more. Because I would say every 3-4 months, this whole thing changes, you know what I mean? Of how a record is put out. And how a record is promoted, how a record is, you know what I mean? Because everything is so digital now. So the only advice I would give an artist, because you could put out a record and it hits, right? And you'll be a success overnight. And you're also in the climate where you could put out something and you're trying for years and nothing happens. So because it's so many people trying, you know what I mean? And a gimmick will override you in any minute. They might not last long, but a gimmick will kick your ass. You know what I mean? And this social media thing is all about gimmicks. Everybody got a damn gimmick to sell a product or something. You know what I mean? I would say the advice I'd give anybody is remain yourself. Do not let trends change you. Do not. If you're a serious artist and you want a career being an artist, be yourself. And if you do believe in yourself, which you should if you decide to do this, if you do believe in yourself, you stick to your guns. You feel me? That's if you truly believe in yourself. You stick to your guns because your day will come. If you have a product that you believe in, there's nobody could make you stop doing what you're doing or make you fail except you quitting. You feel me? So my advice to any artist is don't dream, be practical, be persistent. You know what I mean? And be yourself.
You know, gem drops here by Cali Ranks. So I was gonna ask the next question. How did the song Kill 'Em All come about, and how did you end up on the show soundtrack?
Kill 'Em All came about because in that era, like I said, it was so competitive. Everybody wanted to stand out and be different. My question was, you know what I'm saying, since it was the time when Craig Mack, if you listen to Kill 'Em All carefully, we influence each other how we influence each other without, say, copying. You could always, you know, compliment somebody's style. Like Represent came from Nas, right? That represent. I said represent kid, but the represent came from Nas. If you're a hip hop head, I know Carlos know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, saying that just the words, if represent came from Nas. So it's the same thing to go back to where I said I was one of those kids that was born in reggae but raised in hip hop. So how do you walk that line? You know what I'm saying? You give them a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just like the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and you still remain yourself. So
Mhm.
kill them all was the phrase kill them all was me saying, okay, what could I say that could be the hardest shit that motherfucker can't rebuttal? You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
What could you say to a motherfucker that they can't rebuttal it? No matter how hard an MC is or whatever is that,
That's true.
yo, man, kill them all. What you gonna
Represent,
say to that?
represent. Yeah, that's
Well,
what
how
it
do
is.
you reply to that? What you gonna say? If I say, all right, I
Yeah.
just kill them all. What?
No. And that's what I like. That's the genius behind it
That's
too. is
it.
Because, yeah, that's the genius behind it. Because you say I take my lyric and murder them. You know what I'm saying?
And murder them. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. So the concept of that was just me trying to defeat any competition before the competition came.
Mm-hmm.
And since Mad Lion was running around and Black Panther was running around, they were my target.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You could have be a bad jungle lion or a jungle cat.
Word.
Take off a whiff of the cali and you lie them flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they knew that. Because Mad Lion came to me and said, somebody told me, man, you talking about me. Not trying to start shit because I got mad respect for Mad and they my boys and everything. But back then, it was, just like Cannabis would tell you. It was all dog eat dog. He was like, what can you say to shut everything down? You know what I mean? Nobody can ask you nothing. Kill them all.
Well,
so that's how that came about. It was a fight.
That's dope.
Oh, I miss that spirit. I just that spirit.
That competitiveness.
Spirit. There was nothing more fun than to go down to the radio station and watch the MCs battling to see who was gonna get the interview.
That was it. That was it. That was the vibe, yo. Yep. Yeah, so it came from that vibe, you know what I mean? Yeah, we wanted to win. Everybody wanted to win, but you had to win with your own shit. You couldn't really follow nobody. You had to come up with your own. So, you know what I mean? You got to think. And R.I.P. to Black Rob, like I said, that's one thing he always says, yo, before you make an album, bro, you go listen to the oldies. And when you sit down, just think. When you're writing, just think. And that's missing today. The motherfuckers rhyme sound, no, excuse me, curse. These rappers rhyme sound like ABCs, bro. And 1, 2, 3s. They sound like they copying and just repeating the you know what I mean? No, man. Say something, bro. You're mumbling.
Anything. I'll take anything.
Me too.
I'll say anything.
Represent, kid. You know what I'm saying?
Something. Say something.
I'll take another Kim. Just to say something.
Yep. Yeah, that's real.
I told somebody, I said, Back is Eminem's worst song, but at least it was a story. At least he said something.
Exactly.
You got a lot to say. Yeah, lyrics counted them times. You know what I mean? So that's what's missing, man. Bars, content, ideas and concepts, think, man. Messages. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertainment and creative, yes, but you can't just mumble your way through it, man. At least everybody can't. Everybody cannot do the same thing and expect this to continue like this. Like T-Pain said, do something different, do something else. That's all we want. Let's do something.
Yeah. And it's bad when T-Pain saying something.
Real things though, man. It's serious.
Real.
Yeah. Man.
Just thinking back over your career and all that you've done and all that you've accomplished, what would you tell the younger you to avoid some of the hurdles that you went throughout your career?
Be patient. Be careful who you trust, for one. You know what I mean? Stand strong when you need to. There's so many things I tell my damn young self, boy. But the most I would say is be patient. You know what I mean? Be patient and be careful not to squander opportunities, because you never know when things will really, you know what I mean, fall in your lap and how long things last, or whatever it might be. But be patient. You know what I mean? Be patient. Patience.
Yeah, that's great advice, especially in this microwave society that we've created.
Yep. That's a good way to put it. For
I
real.
wanted to ask Callie, do you feel, I don't know what age you are now, what age you were then, and it's none
I
of my
never tell them like
business.
that.
But did you did you like, you know, a lot of artists now, right? Right, a lot of artists now, like what, to piggyback off what SP said, like it's microwave culture, it is instant gratification.
Yep.
Everybody gets triggered in good ways, right? From Instagram, and not, I don't even know if it's good ways, but they get
Yeah, they kill
triggered.
themselves if they don't get likes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
literally.
Yeah.
Well, like with you now, do you think that, or with even these artists, I don't know how to ask this. Do you feel like if it happens too young for you, like too much success, too quick, first album out the gate platinum, where do you go from there? Like yours kind of built up, right? Your career built up, built up, built up. Do you feel like if it happens too fast, it is hard to maintain, or it's hard to have appreciation for it? You start to feel privileged, like you know what it was like before the show, and then you know what it was
Yeah.
like after the show. So I don't know where that happened in your career, but
Yeah, it's like any human in anything, you know what I mean? You it can, you know what I mean? And who's around you has a major part to play in it. And of course the chances of you effing up, getting everything young is way, way higher than you riding the treadmill and getting everything slow because your appreciation is gonna be a lot more. You know what I mean? Ego will tear anything apart, bro. You give a young kid 19, 20, a couple $1 million and just let him run loose without, no smart people around him. That's some
Mhm.
shit is gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
a
Damn, I got the camera
suicide.
to my
It's a
face thinking about it, not
suicide.
even realize how close I got it to my damn face. But yeah, bro, it does play a large part in longevity and success, depending on how early you know what I'm saying. Of course, your mind frame has a lot to do with it, but most young kids, bro, 19, 20, nobody got no damn mind frame. Give me $1 million, I'm gonna go damn crazy. Like, what? It
Mhm.
must be nuts. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's good to have good people around you, and it does play a major part. I'm answering the question 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And hey, and 2.5 million back in the 90s is like 10 million now in the
Yeah.
2000s. So it's big
Mhm.
Yeah.
money right now. If I saw
Yeah,
Mhm.
10
but you gotta
million,
also understand when you get a deal for like so much, you know what I mean? They don't put the lump sum in your hand. You know what I mean? What they do is they partition this, do this, they give that for the budget, that and that. So when they tell you to sign you for a certain amount, yeah, you see, like my first check, yeah, was 85 grand, you know what I mean? But that money just will fall in your lap like boom, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a lot that goes with it. But yeah, you become a damn fool if you're not thinking.
That's some good advice though for an
Yeah,
artist.
it's real. It's
Good
real,
advice.
bro.
And keep it. And appreciate you sharing that situation and that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to
Absolutely.
keep good people around you, bro. To cross them T's and dot them I's, and people you can trust. I mean, you know what I mean? With
Mhm.
money, it's always problems, bro.
Mhm.
Always, always. Yeah, me and this phone to my face. I'll be forgetting I got a damn phone.
No, you good. Tula, you wanted to ask. You wanted to ask
I'm
a
a country
question.
boy, bro. You gotta excuse me, man. Yeah. I ain't gonna pretend. I'm a country boy.
No, that's all right. I'm a country boy too, so
That's
we
what's up.
good. We linked. We linked.
I think we all on the same page with that one.
Oh word,
That's what's
I,
up.
First,
Keep it
first,
real, 100 every time. Yep.
no doubt.
Yeah,
first of
man.
all, I just want to say, I don't have a microwave. By choice for like I don't know the past decade, whatever.
Mhm.
So we just wait for things to bake and all that jazz. But so I know your career is not over, Anna.
Right, right.
But have you gotten everything you wanted out of your career? Any
No, not as
disappointments,
yet. Not as
surprises?
yet. As far as like satisfaction, yes. You know what I mean? Success is here and there, a little money keep trickling in. Yeah, yeah. But what I really want out of it is to make that impact, just like y'all making right now. And I think to make that, you have to open some doors, do something, you know what I mean? Create some type of entity where like we're working on right now with a label to where, you know, youngsters could get an opportunity to do something better than I've done. You know what I mean? Make it better for somebody else, you know, etc. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not done. You know what I mean? I got a lot of stuff I got to get done, and music is just a gateway, and I really want to start to use it to make some type of changes. I don't care if it's even in one life. You know what I mean? I want to make some changes.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead, SP.
I think we all reached that. We all reached that point where you know it's time to make it better.
Yeah, contribute. Yeah, do something. Yeah, you don't just suck up the damn air. That's real shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true.
Well, we want to thank everybody tonight for tuning in. I want to thank my partners that joined me tonight, Neb, Too Legit, SP, and more importantly, we want to thank the legendary artist Cali Ranks for sharing his story and taking us on the journey with you. We greatly appreciate you doing that and taking out time.
Thank
Once
you,
again,
guys.
we know this was a very, morning for you. We thank you for taking out time to join us, and we want to send blessings to you and your family through that experience. And more importantly, we thank you for making a powerful impact on the community with your music and with your heart. And so we just want to thank you for all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me and you, we go back. We got this love on our end, so we know. And you got love from Powerful Impact. I can speak on behalf of the whole crew.
That's real.
Here.
That's real.
And we appreciate you being here with us tonight. So we just want to thank you again. We want to encourage. Oh, go ahead, SP.
I'm sorry. Before we go, I just really want to express my gratitude because I have wanted to talk to you since 2019. So this has been gratifying and a absolute pleasure, and I really thank you.
I thank you guys for having me, man. God bless y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
And again, we just want to encourage you. Once again, we want you to go ahead and follow Cali. We want you to go ahead and provide your social media links, website. That way they can go ahead and buy your music, get the chance to follow you, and continue to be updated about things that you're doing. So can you go ahead and share that with our audience right now?
All right, everybody, everything is always Cali Ranks. The only thing different is Instagram Cali Ranks _, and the real Cali Ranks. But yeah, everything is Cali Ranks. And nobody like that name Cali Ranks, so they don't have it.
All right. Well, that's that makes that's easy to find you then.
Yes, sir. Easy.
I just want to say thank you too, and maybe next time you're in Cali, I'll be able to meet you at an event.
Much appreciate y'all, man.
Stay blessed.
Salute.
Salute.
All right, y'all stay blessed. Thanks again.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, brothers.
And we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Powerful Impact podcast with Soul Rack, SP, and Too Legit and Neb, featuring the legendary Cali Ranks. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay connected for upcoming episodes and follow us on social media. That's at Powerful Impact. And when you see it, it's the one with the exclamation mark. We want you to recognize who we are, continue to follow us, continue to support what we do. And we just want to say salute and one love.
Salute.
Salute.